Ugh. Welcome back. The channel's very busy at the moment. It's extremely busy, and it's not about the projects. It's about the editing and creating a YouTube that's community friendly, but also expanding. At the moment, we have a very strong community, maybe 600 of us or so, very close, very tight, and that's great. But there's something like 85% of watchers for each video who, they don't dislike the video by any means, but they don't subscribe, they don't particularly like, and they don't comment. So I think I need to slightly tweak the channel to be able to reach a bigger audience. And I'm not sure fully how I do that yet. I'm going to be changing thumbnails and stuff. That's the buzzword at the moment, YouTube thumbnails. I like just having a clip of the bike I'm working on, but apparently you need words and a picture of you and this and that. So I'm going to be looking at thumbnails and considering the contents I put out, although it's not going to change in regards to what you see and what I do. So I just wanted to get that out there. Some slight changes, a bit more support from the watchers who aren't already subscribed, because there's a couple of thousand of you, in hope that the channel can expand a bit, because it all helps. It all helps. Last month the channel expanded in regards to comments, likes, and subscribers 250%. And last month the channel earned £131, something similar, and that's amazing, that's stunning. But if the other 85% of people who watch every video just click that sub button, then it will help the channel out massively. So yes, welcome back. I hope that intro wasn't too, I mean, I know it was long, that's a one-off, that's not going to be common, but YouTube's gone a bit weird. I don't know what it's doing. I think it likes the channel, I think it realises it's going big, and I think it's pushing big time because it knows it makes a hell of a lot of money out of us, and that's what's going on. Harley Davidson broke down on me the other day, well, a couple of weeks ago now, and it's basically, I mean, right now it will start and idle for a few seconds, and then at some point you won't be able to blip it, it will just cut out. For the first, 30 seconds, as if the choke was on, for example, you can blip it, and it's kind of okay, it sounds fairly normal. I showed that to Nat yesterday or the day before, whenever he was here. First thing it needs all the coolant topped up, because at some point it leaked out, and then we need to check if there's a leak, where the leak is, what happened and so on, and why that happened. I think I want to pop the spark plugs today and just give them a quick clean, just see if that's got anything to do with it. There's no actual engine lights on, it's just unhappy. Now I'll tell you exactly what happened. It overheated, I was stuck in traffic big time, there was a protest and they surrounded us in central London, so you couldn't turn, couldn't do anything. I was low on fuel already, trying to get to a petrol station, and I was other side of the bridges in London, and anyone who knows London, there's only a couple of bridges you're allowed to go over, and obviously the protesters blocked them bridges. They did a great job, the protesters, because I have absolutely no idea what they were protesting about after being stuck in it for 45 minutes. I think that's pretty impressive. Let's hope it wasn't about the climate change, because we all had our engines on and we're trying to survive. Anyway, that's what happened. To be fair, the bike rode back, but it got really low on fuel. It had overheated. and it just wasn't happy. So I thought there'd be some sort of fuel airlock or something when I filled it up. That appears to be what happened. But I'm not going to focus on this. I'm just kind of catching people up. I want to pop the plugs at least, give them a clean, see what's going on there. But soon I'll be doing a full service on it. In the last video, you should have seen and heard the Valiant absolutely screaming its head off. I'm extremely pleased about that. Now, one of the watchers, I have to apologise. I think you're fairly new, and I forgot your name. That's my bad. Said to me, this engine's the same engine that's in the Lexmoto Adrenaline. Same engine, which is great news. That means I can buy the manifold and the carb from the Adrenaline. Although, looking at it, I might have to do some fidgeting around here to make sure the new carb has enough room. It'll be kind of here. I don't know, actually. I don't know. I am going to order that and see, because if that bolts to the engine and fits and works, that is the better of these two options. Otherwise, it would be another one of these carbs and working this system out. But I would want to get an airbox around it. Yesterday, the revs were kind of slightly inconsistent, and that's what happens when kind of bits of extra air blows in and stuff. So I'm not particularly going to be doing too much on that today. I'm waiting for the parts. They're not yet ordered, but it's bank holiday weekend, but I'll order them today or tomorrow. What I do want to do is I want to have a quick look at what we've got left. We haven't done that. I was saving them, but I don't think they're projects. I think they're junk. I don't think the AP is savable, but it might have bits on it that I can use. For example, the how on earth is that seat locked? For example, the fuel pump on the other one appears to have gone. I might be able to use this one. And I have no idea what's on this. It's missing lots of parts, so I need to have a good look over it. So I think this will be a nice video. My back was sore yesterday after a long day, so I'm going to do a couple of hours here today and then go home and rest. Let's get out the ap50. The Piaggio needs a new carb. That's going to be on order. That should be here and sorted next week. So I'm going to have a little look at the ap50. Okay, so you can see this setup. We're going to test if the carb overflows while off the bike under normal circumstances. So we connect up to fuel in. That would be fuel in. And then we will of course flow. And we're flowing. And we'll wait and see what happens here. I hope you're in shot. I believe you are. So last time it was coming up and it was tipping out. I can kind of see something going on there. Oh, it's flowing through the overflow. Okay, got it. So there's two things to check there. First of all, it's that this is sealing, which I believe it is. And then secondly, that I believe there's a pipe in here, an overflow pipe, so when the fuel goes too far up, it then comes out through the same system. So let's get into there and have a little look as to what's going on. And I'm hoping you're in shot and can see now what I would look into. So the where is it? The bowl has this tube in it, and if the flow goes higher than this, it will escape even if that's done up. That's a given. Now I can test the hole. Ugh. Air is escaping. Now I'll block that bit and check the secondary bit. Yeah, that's fine. So, that means a couple of things. Either the floats aren't stopping air or fluid at all, or they are and it's escaping from somewhere else. And actually I can see something already. That's interesting. Right, let's see. That's interesting. I can see something that looks a bit iffy. So, if I blow through now, air should escape. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but air is escaping. I should be able to stop the air escaping completely by lifting the float. Yeah, there's air definitely getting through. And what I can see is something sticking out. Interesting. Right, I'm going to get back down to the float and I'll show you. Okay, so the last O-ring I put in here, which is around the sealing chamber, had got caught and I didn't realise that, so it wasn't sealing. There's a new O-ring in now. Now, listen. We can hear air escaping. Now I'm only going to block this bit, that's where the fuel flows. You may still hear air escaping from the rest. Let's check. No, none at all. Okay, so we've solved our problem. That's brilliant, and that's a quick fix. I'm going to chuck this back together. We're going to put it back on the bike, and we should have an ap50 up and running today. And if it was, it may have been overflowing last time, that it may have been running rich. That's why it was bogging at full throttle. If not, we may need to pop this off and just have another look at a couple of bits like the slide and stuff. But it is a complex system, so my hope is that it's okay. What size main have we got on here? Remember, this bike hardly done anything, so my assumption is it ran right at some point. 64. 64? That seems ridiculously low. So the suction pipe is not on. Let's see if we start, and let's see how long it flows for and if the suction pipe's needed. It looks to me like it's free flow at the moment. Wow, that was so quick. Wow. I'm going to wait a minute for the choke to go off, and then I'm going to see if it has full throttle. It was cutting out there at full throttle. So choke off, and I'll check again. And the other thing I'm going to do is check the second carb to see what main jet it's got. When you build it up, you can get a huge top end. I'm going to let you listen. But if you just open the throttle now, it will stall. So when you build it up, massive top end. So listen to it scream. That has got a lot of power, but there is a discrepancy between mid, is it mid, like quarter? Quarter's okay. Let it settle down, let's go half. It's half, that's not overly happy. Half throttle is idle jet. Idle jet, the pilot jet, isn't it? Half throttle. Although saying that, it's both, it's the main and... I'm going to just open the second carb and just check the jettings, I'm curious. And don't get me wrong, you can run that now and just run it at half throttle always and then full throttle when it's picked up speed. But I'd be curious. I might take it for a quick spin. So I've taken the second carb apart, mainly to see how it works, mainly to see its working mechanism, and it's quite complex. I mean, you can see, but that's the choke. Forget that. It's a complex system. Also, it doesn't have a main jet in here, so I have no idea what jet it was, but I can throw in an original. The clip on this first carb is one clip under top. Normally they would be in the middle, so normally it'd be one down. So if the clip in there, if it was running that main jet in this carb with one clip up, and the clip in there isn't one clip up, that could explain what's going on, but it is a bit of fiddling now where we're kind of testing this, and again, this carb's complex, so a bit of a pain, but it is something we do need to do. So I'm going to pull that carb off, and it even needs a little bit more fuel at the top or a little bit less. You know, that's as simple as that, really. So if it's on the middle clip, it needs to either go one clip up or one clip down to get it going good. So I'm going to pull it off again, because why not? And we're going to see if we can get this one sorted. So this is the actual carb now, and it's on the same clip as the other one, except the other one had a tiny little shim as well, which would have lifted it a bit higher. I think it needs to go back to the center. My guess is that it needs to go back to the center. I'm going to just compare these needles, because there might be a slight difference. No, they're the same. But yeah, I'm going to put the clip back to the center, put it back in, try it again. It's a bit of a long process. This is not long. It's a bit boring. It's a bit consistent. You've got to take it all apart. But it's worth doing. Back to the middle slot. That's the original setting. If it's got the original main jet, then it should be good to go. So I'm going to chuck that back in. I just wanted to show you that this is the good carb, and I am taking it apart and I am doing the work. So let's get it back in, set up, and we'll see how we go from there. So I think last video of the day, carb's back in, chuck the airbox on, and we'll hear it through quarter, half, and full throttle. I've not connected up the throttle, so I'm going to be revving it by hand. That seems better to me. Once the choke had sorted itself out, I'm going to give it a very quick run up and down the road, and then I'm packing up. I'm tired and my back is sore. Alright, little fella, let's see what you got. It's still a bit flat on full throttle under load, but it is running well.